Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at the third video in my Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced series, comparing it to the original Mavic Enterprise Dual. First up, we're going to take a look at the Mavic Enterprise Dual. This is the original thermal drone released by DJI back in 2018. And we have to select the temperature picker from the top right, and then we can select a spot on the screen where we can see the temperature that it's actually reading. This was the original one where nothing else was in the consumer market, so it was actually really good when it got launched. But now it's 2 years later and DJI has released the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced, and now let's take a look at the footage that comes out of that camera. As you guys can see, we're double the altitude and slightly further away, and the quality is significantly better. Even when we zoom in 2 times, you can see it's still a lot better. 4 times, still better than the original. And when we go over to 8 times, that is when you can start to compare the quality between the original Dual and the Enterprise Advanced. So there is a massive difference in camera quality, and it's not just the resolution. It's really a huge upgrade. With the new Enterprise Advanced, you also don't have to select the temperature drop-down option. You can just tap on the screen and you can already see there's quite a difference in the accuracy and the temperature. Not only is the Dual significantly closer, but the temperatures are also wildly different. So the temperatures on the Advanced is a lot better. Also, with the Dual, you would have to go select the new temperature selection box from the drop-down option. With the Advanced, you can simply just drag on the screen and you've got your temperature box essentially, where it can show you the hottest and the coldest temperature in a range in front of you. Very useful functionality. But let's quickly jump over to flying the Mavic Enterprise Dual at an altitude of 22 meters. You can see there's not too much visible, and if you go up to 30 meters where you'll be more safe to fly, it's usable, but it's not going to give you something that you can use as a security function. Whereas with the Enterprise Advanced, on the other hand, you can see there is a huge difference. At an altitude of 41 meters, we're not even zoomed in yet, and we can clearly see the definition in the houses in the distance, and it's already about 4 or 5 times better than what you could see on the Dual. I actually feel quite comfortable flying at night with this unit, especially if you're comparing it to the original Dual. Here we're flying at minus 15 meters and the definition is still almost unusable. Especially if you're flying low, you won't be able to see cables, trees, items like that until it's too late. Whereas with the Enterprise Advanced, here we're flying at effectively 55 meters higher than with the Enterprise Dual, and we can see clear definition in the houses around us. You can even see the pylons and the cables on the pylons, and we're not even using the zoom. We're flying at a safe altitude, and if you want to, you can actually just stop somewhere and focus on a point and then use the digital zoom option. The digital zoom in 2 times mode I feel is very usable compared to the 4, which is reduced quite a lot, but the 8 times zoom essentially is comparable to what you get with the Enterprise Dual. So if you're using the Enterprise Advanced with 2 times zoom, a 4 times zoom, I think you're getting great value. If you're using the 8 times zooms, you are pushing it to essentially the same limits that you used to have with the Enterprise Dual, but you're going to get significantly closer without having to fly closer. Here we're just quickly flying back with the Dual. We can hardly see the pylons, and we're flying at an altitude of 30 meters, and we are almost back at the vehicles and we still can't see them clearly. Only at about 80 meters do you really start to see the definition, and as you can see, we're 30 meters up and we're at 40 meters away, and we can see some people on the ground, but you're not 100% sure. We have to get even closer, and there's still no clear definition between the vehicle and the people standing outside. Whereas the complete opposite is true with the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced. Here we're flying over the vineyards, and you can see the clear definition of the road next to it, as well as the bushes, the actual vineyard itself. And as we turn around, you're going to start seeing the definition in the actual of the plant itself. As you can see, each one of these plants have a little white spot at the bottom. That is the actual stem of the plant sticking out of the ground. Now we're flying back, you can see the wires off the pylons, and it's just a lot more clear than you could see on the Enterprise Dual. You can also see us in the background by the vehicle. We are still over 100 meters away, 40 meters in altitude, and we can clearly see two people standing there where that was not clear at all with the Enterprise Dual. So yeah, we've got a definition of the car, we've got two people standing there, and as they move you can see the individual movements as well. So all in all, a massive difference between the Enterprise Dual versus the Enterprise Advanced. Here we can see a quick clip of park. We're using the white hot color template, and if you switch over to the black hot, it actually shows a very different picture. I actually like switching between the white hot and the black hot versions because it gives us different pictures and a different view of the actual heat in front of us. The definition of the buildings are completely different, and I feel these color templates serve a very good purpose because not all situations are exactly the same. You might be in a field or you might be in a forest, and each one of them would have a different color template need. For me though, the white hot option is still the nicest one. I just feel that the white color pops more than all the other colors or templates out there. In this scenario, you can already see the person walking at the top of the screen just because of that white marker just moving. Your eye just is naturally inclined to spot that and focus on that movement. In this scenario, we're at 44 meters and we are still able to see the person quite clearly. In this case, you can even see the person's arms as they're waving them around, and as they walk and try and hide, you can still clearly see the definition of that person. So as we come a bit closer, you can see the definition of the arms and the person jumping around, and you just can't see it with a normal camera. The Dual is not even an option in this scenario. You can even see the definition of the car in front of us. So as we come a bit closer, you're going to see the person's actually going to go and lie down on the ground itself, and just take note of how the ground looked before the person lied down there. As you can see, there's a clear definition of the person on the ground. You can see them moving around, but as they get up, you'll notice there is a little white dot where they were lying down. Now if you just look at it, you wouldn't spot it at first, but that wasn't there before the person lied down. Here we can zoom in a bit, you can see that white spot. That white spot is actually the person's cell phone, and they're going to realize it pretty soon, and they're going to pick it up, and you're going to notice that the heat of the cell phone is actually quite easy to spot from 30 meters up in the air. It's quite impressive if you think about how small the cell phone is and how easily we spot it from 30 meters up in the air. We're also going to cycle through some other color templates so you can see the other options. I still really like the white hot option, but iron red gives you that classic thermal look, and you can see the red of the heat signatures compared to the other options. Now black hot looks really good here as well, especially in this vineyard area. That'll probably be the best option to find someone, as you can see the black stand out significantly more than any of the other options, and when someone moves around it, your eye also catches it. But personally, my favorite still is the white hot option. I'm just naturally inclined to look at the white dot more than any of the other colors. Well, that brings us to the end of the video. If you guys like the information that was shared and you guys want to check out some of my other content of my channel, please consider to subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. I'm going to leave you guys with some footage of the drone coming into land, and you're going to see once again why I'm actually in love with this drone, because you're going to see the definition on the clothes of the people standing there just with the thermal camera. It's something that you have to see to believe, especially if you think about it. The other camera that's capable of this clarity is the H20T, and that costs 90,000 South African rands just for the camera alone, and then you still need the M300 or a similar type of drone to use it. So this is by far the best value for money drone on the market right now.